BSHL fans, and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. What a weekend of playoff hockey in the BSHL. I can't wait to see what happens this weekend, but I want to see all the fans out there getting loud. Now, here's your host, the Coreys.
Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Corey, joined by my co-host, the coughing maniac himself, Corey.
I didn't hear that, did you?
No, you're muted, but
okay, thank
I
God.
can see it.
Yeah. You know, when you say, let's go, and we start recording, you get that itch in the throat, so.
Yeah.
It's a reflex.
It's a reflex. Leave it to Corey.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Doing best I've ever felt.
Best you've ever felt.
Best I've ever felt.
You didn't feel this good in kindergarten.
No.
You had no responsibilities. You only had to know how to count to 10, maybe A through J.
Yeah, but I had a girlfriend in kindergarten, but that's not the girl I wanted. So, you know, I had these problems.
All right, well, fuck. Way to fucking bring it down.
Well, you asked.
Busy weekend. We were
Very
kind
busy.
of, we were out there, Miramichi on Friday night. You went up with good old Ricky Bassrash.
You know, I'm
met up
jumping
with
in the
us
car.
there.
I'm jumping in the car on Friday for that game as well with Ricky. Saw him at the JK, and he's like, jumping in with me again. I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, cool. Give someone to talk to. I actually told him about a band. One of my favorite bands right now is Korpi Kalani, which is this
What?
Finnish.
It's what?
Korpi Kalani.
You don't know who Miley Cyrus is,
No.
but Korpi Kalani.
Yeah, it's
That
a Finnish metal
literally
band.
sounds like a medical procedure to clean your anus, to clean your bowels.
It's not. It's a
Korpi Kalani.
Korpi Kalani's a great band, and I showed it to Ricky, and he was like, "Can you send me a couple of their songs?" And when he got to the rink in Bucktush, he's like, "I was listening to some Korpi Kalani on the way up."
I'm glad for you and Ricky that you bonded over Korpi Kalani. Man, what is that?
Finnish metal.
Yeah, I'll look it up and I'll give you a review on Thursday's episode.
Awesome.
Be sure to tune in.
I'm going to send you a couple of songs to listen to.
Oh, God.
All right?
All right. Do they do any covers?
No.
I always find if I'm listening to a new band, if they do a cover of something I know, then I can be like, oh, they're really good. And then I'll get to know their own stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever. I'll figure it out.
This
Korpi Kalani, high colonic.
Yeah, so they have a few songs in English, but it's mostly in their own language. So
Finnish?
Is that their language, Finnish?
They're from Finland.
They're from Finland, so they speak Finnish.
All right. Well, you know, that's a great one. I'm glad we went up with Ricky and you bonded over Finnish metal.
Yep.
That's special. Friday's
Only on a
game.
BSHL podcast, huh?
Yeah, we just go with whatever the hell's going on. Friday, what a game, man. That was a
unbelievable
nail biter. God awful reffing. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
I was actually concerned for people's safety on the ice.
I've never seen Corey. I've seen Corey that upset when he was a fan, but as just a podcaster, like he could not hold himself. He goes up, he looks at the referees, and he's like, "It's your job to protect them." Like he was hot. He was hot.
I just felt bad, man. Like Josh Russell ate an elbow, no call. There's a couple pretty bad hits by Miramichi on the JCs, no call. And he was like amping up and up and up. And all I could think, this is the curse of the BSHL podcast. And I love it. I love the podcast. Here's the curse. I saw Josh Russell down there, and all I could think about was his mom and dad.
Yep.
Like getting to know people, and you feel for them. So you see Brett go down, you feel for Roxanne. That's what sucks about the podcast. But anyway, it is what it is. We love what we do, but those refs were scaring me a little bit on Friday night.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Let's get into the game.
The game. So the Miramichi Northmen with a comeback win over the Bucktush JCs. They finish it 2-1 in overtime. Josh Russell, 1 goal, 2 points, the OT winner. You'll hear at the end This game is why I've been calling Josh Russell the Ultimate Warrior of the BSHL. And for me to call you the Ultimate Warrior, that's a high compliment.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
If he really likes you, he calls you high colonic. But if he kind of likes you, he calls you the Ultimate Warrior. What were they again? Corpi Clan?
Corpi Klani.
Corpi Clan. I was close. Go ahead.
Next up, Bryce Milson with 1 goal. That tied the game up. And what have I been saying every week? When in doubt, Bryce Milson. Kennedy Gallant with 2 assists, and Pierre-Alexandre Parenteau with the sole goal for the JCs.
Such a fun game to watch, man.
That was probably my game of the week.
I probably agree with you. It was the Josh Russell scoring in overtime, like the drama. What a story.
This is how you make a movie.
Yeah.
He goes down, like, I call him the Ultimate Warrior. I could have easily called him Paul Correa. Off the floor, on the boards.
Corpi Clani. I almost made Corey spit water right there, and I'm not sorry about it.
Anybody that wants to go listen to Corpi Clani, I guarantee you will enjoy it.
Cheryl, if you're listening to this, go listen to them and let us know how you think of it.
She likes that. Clani. She likes that little Asian man, Beyonce.
You're so fucking weird. So I agree. I think this was a great game. I love the hits. And Avery Brennan and Denver Dunfield are so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
I struggled knowing which game to go to on Sunday. I chose to go to the LC game. You chose to go to the Bucktouche game. Which game do you want to get into first?
Let's which one's on my list first? Bucktouche. Let's just continue with Bucktouche.
All right, go for it.
So the Bucktouche JCs beat the Miramichi Northmen 5-1 at home. They remain undefeated. They remain undefeated. Logan Timmons with 2 goals and 3 points. Jesse Limburner with 1 goal. Justin Leblanc with 1 goal. Alexandre Jacob 1 goal. And the sole goal for Miramichi is Jeff Wilson.
Big really big game for the JCs. Pivotal. You don't want to lose that game. Go back to Miramichi, face Miramichi at home down 3-2. Questionable. I think some people had issues with the reffing. I'm not sure. We might have gotten 10,000 messages about the reffing. I'm not sure if how the reffing was in Bucktouche.
Not as bad as Miramichi. And when I say that, it was on both sides. The missed elbow on Josh Russell, the bowling over Colette, the hits here and there. I think the referees got caught up in the game and were fans for a second. Like, that's the only thing I can imagine. In Bucktouche, I felt the game went by really fast. Very little stoppages. Like, I don't know why the game just went by really fast.
That happens sometimes. Was the pace good though? Was it back and forth or
sort of?
Mostly, like, did one team dominate more? I mean, 5-1. It tells me that the JCs played well.
Yeah. The thing is, from where I was standing, the PA guy couldn't hear him very well, and they don't keep the shots on goal. And really, like in LC, they keep the shots on goal, but anything that flies by the net is a shot on goal. So you can't really look at that and say, that there was 70 shots on goal. It was probably closer to 30 or 40. Just whatever flies by the net, they count as a shot on goal. Now just Bucktouche really dominated, and Colette stood on his head. Colette played very well, and yeah, it's just I don't know. It wasn't my favorite game that they've played. The overtimes and all that have always been more interesting. So Friday will be interesting though.
I can't wait to get to there on Friday. So the other game on Sunday, the Dalhousie Marauders travel to what is now the land of the air horn, LC, Rishabukto, New Brunswick.
I think that's maybe why I chose to go to Bucktouche, is because the bane of my existence right now are those air horns. I get you're a fan, you're allowed to, and it's really cool that you're active with that. I hate those air horns so much. I just hate them.
So normally I'm behind the net. I like to watch the game from that perspective. I just do. I was streaming the game, so I was behind my parents, my sister, Tracy was with me. So we were up like in the middle, and all the air horns were in front of us. You know that experience. And man, they blow those air horns a lot. It felt like I was in Dalhousie, but I don't know, man. The drive wasn't as long. So the Marauders, probably the worst game I've seen them play since the game one in Amherst. I don't say that lightly. It's just, it is what it is. They just didn't look like they were with it. They weren't into it.
Yeah.
Valcourt didn't look like he was clicking.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
I rewatched the game. I can't say it's the worst game I've seen them play because I saw them like give up quite a bit of goals in some games, but something wasn't clicking here. I don't know. Want me to get into goal scorers?
Yeah, go for that.
So Brett McLean with 2 goals for LC. Brody MacArthur, he got the game. Well, the game winner.
The game winner.
And Robert Peltier got the sole goal for Dalhousie. LC wins 3-1, tying the series up. Their next game is this Saturday. I think we're all going to be there. I'm not sure yet.
I don't know who's going yet. We'll figure it out. But the podcast will be there. There will be a stream, and we look forward to it. It'll kind of depend who's feeling it and who wants to go. I don't think we're all going to go. Some of us are going to probably split, but it's just a long trip. So if we can save some people fresh for if there is a game 7 on Thursday, next Thursday, then we'll be ready for that. But good game, fun to watch. The pace in the first period especially was nuts. Dalhousie, the puck down the LCN, couple shots on net. LC picks it up. Good pass. Back, forth. The pace was crazy. The hits, there were some solid hits. Just goaltending again, though. Jason Ryu made some clutch saves when he had to. Dalhousie didn't have a ton of shots on goal. Still made a few big saves. LeMay stood on his head. He looked phenomenal in net, man. Don't know what they're paying him. Don't care what they're paying him. He's worth every penny right now.
Yeah.
He's proving what that experience does. The story for me is Joey Bernard versus the world. I don't know. Everybody from fans to players, nobody in Rishabukto likes Joey Bernard. I'm going to tell you a secret. I love Joey Bernard. Cracks me up.
I love Joey.
He's a funny guy to watch. He stirs shit up out there. He gets in people's faces. He's just, I say this with the utmost respect. He's Brad Marchand of the BSHL. He's a pain in the ass. I watch LC fans just scream and lose their mind at him. And I'm like, as a person who doesn't really give a shit who wins, hilarious to me. His antics are great.
Sometimes the fans just in Buckdouche, there was this guy like where me and Ricky were, like fans are over us, like by the barricade. And there's this old man yelling at the referees, and all we could hear was ahoy, ahoy, ahoy. And I'm like, what is he saying? And Ricky looks at me and he goes, ahoy. Ricky's such a fucking hilarious dude. Ahoy.
Oh, fucking hell. The crowds get into it. I mean, it's fun. It's what it's all about for me. But I don't know. I enjoy watching Joey. It's like Trey. Trey's the most hated guy in the BSHL. I like watching Trey play. Trey's a great player. His slap shot is second to none. Good game for the Hawks. Not a great game for the Marauders. Best game I've probably seen Brett McLean play in a while. Yeah, he looked great out there. That line was clicking. Jeremy Hanna was playing well. I don't know. The Hawks were missing a couple of guys, so they didn't have Elijah Francis due to suspension. Peter Traynor wasn't there. Mac Brown wasn't there. So you're thinking, one of the top defensemen, although the Hawks have, to be fair,
their depth
6, they have phenomenal defensemen. But missing Traynor, maybe one of your best players, maybe your best player, arguably, maybe one of the best players in the entire BSHL. And missing Mac Brown, 2 years ago, the league MVP. Mm-hmm. The offensive.
League MVP.
League MVP?
League MVP.
Okay, so Robbie was the
offensive player of the year.
Defensive was
Daniel Crete, and it was split. So there was no goalie of the year.
It was Crete and Collette.
So literally Kent County kind of Took the
but
awards.
Mac's a beast out there, and
Yeah.
missing Mac, missing Peter Trainer, and missing Elijah, they still found a way to win.
Yeah.
In
That's
no
how you know
small
a team's
thanks
good.
to Ryu. Oh yeah, the depth. So tie it up, heading back to Dalhousie, game 5, tied 2-2. Guarantee that we'll be back at the Kent North in Rishabukto on Sunday, 5:30 p.m. for game 6, and then we'll see what happens from there. We'll definitely be at all the games this weekend if we need to be. Don't know if there's going to be a game 7 on Sunday for Bucktouche and Miramichi, but if there is, we'll be there. It's been a wild playoffs, man. Last year was a great one. Arguably, the semifinals this year even better.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So I think back to last year's semifinals, Dalhousie kind of just ran over Shippigan.
Yeah,
And
the other one was the River Valley and Miramichi, right?
That was a great series.
It was a
great series, but Dalhousie was in another league compared to Shippigan, and just wasn't super competitive.
Yeah.
This year, man, it's so competitive. These teams are so close. Nobody's lost on home ice in semifinals yet.
Nope, not yet.
Clearly it's setting up to go to game 7, or is it?
I don't. I would not. I wouldn't put money on it because I don't know which way the coin will fall.
Bet for the home team. I think it's about all we got, Corey. Anything else you want to talk about tonight?
I think
other than your big happy smile and high colonic.
My high colonic. Do you want to talk about the fights on the ice in Bucktouche?
I mean, we could talk about the fights everywhere. Robbie Graham and I think Isaac Wilson had a fight in Rishabukto. Yeah. Really good fight. Robbie's a tough customer. Wilson, he's strong. Wilson hung in there with him, so it was a good one.
And you talk to Robbie Graham, and he's always got that, but such a kind man.
Very nice guy.
Like, such a nice guy, and you're like on the ice, he's this vicious giant. Then off the ice, you interview him, and he comes out. He's got the best smile in the league. I think it's between him and Mark Giroux. For the best smile.
Giroux's got a nice smile. Giroux's got a nice smile. Are you flirting with Mark Giroux right now?
I kind of am, I think.
All right, well, that's fine. What the hell is the other thing? Oh, Bucktouche. Yeah. So the stick swing, it was reckless.
Yeah.
Don't like to see it. Don't want to see anybody get hurt. Luckily, nobody got hurt. The ref ate the bulk of that slash. But, Patrice definitely lost his cool for a second there. And I think that happens. But
we were around fans and they were like, yeah. And I basically told them, like, there's going to be at least one suspension there. And they're like, what do you mean? They just fought. I'm like, yeah, after 10 minutes in the third period. And they're like, well, what does that mean? Like, people still don't get the rules. If you're just a regular, a casual fan, fighting after the 10-minute mark in the third period is an automatic 1-game suspension. And it was like, there was like 8 minutes left in the game, I think, or whatever. And the reckless swinging of the stick like an axe, not ideal. Wasn't a fan of that, but no one got hurt, so it's all good. But yeah.
And then there was the cross check by Keating, which got him a little suspension. Yeah. It's unfortunate that both teams are going to be without their captains for a bit here.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell everybody's finding out how many suspension days, games, each person. I've gotten messages from people I've never talked to before, and they're like, did you hear it's this many games? And then they're like, are you going to talk about it on the podcast? We don't really talk about the length of suspensions. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you can easily find it out on Facebook. Apparently, it's all over the place. But while you're there, look for Corey's beautiful mug on the Maritime Warrior, and follow our page while you're on there as well. Thanks for all the support. Definitely a big weekend for us. A lot of people in the stream yesterday, and it's very humbling. Means a lot.
It is. You go to an arena and they recognize you and you're like, poor you. But we love all the fans and we appreciate that you support not only us, but the BSHL, because it's a hell of a great league and it's only growing.
So we're going to get to the interviews after this. We've got, I interviewed Andrew Langtang on Friday night. Corey, you interviewed the Ultimate Warrior, Josh Russell. Good God. Sunday, I interviewed Brett McLean. Brett Bernard. Now, I'll get Brett Bernard next time. I'd love to interview Brett Bernard. Brett McLean and Jason Ryu. You interviewed
a bloody Logan Timmons. He had
Okay.
a bridge of his nose all cut up. Another warrior right there. And interviewed Alex Collette and got a FaceTime message right at the end there. So enjoy that.
Enjoy hearing that ring. That happens. All right, Corey, thanks for being here. We're going to be back on Thursday. Enjoy those interviews. I'm going to go post some of Ricky's pictures right now, actually, as soon as we record this. So thanks for your support, everybody. Appreciate it. And we'll see you Thursday.
Take care. Here with Josh Russell, got the game winner in one of the craziest games I've seen this season. Got a little busted up on the ice. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling fine. You know, you just got to take hits and make plays sometimes, and sometimes you get cut and you bleed, and that's just how it goes.
You wanted that goal. You were all over the net. How does it feel to get the overtime win?
It's awesome, but it starts back with our goaltender. Man, Lantain played unbelievable again tonight. Kids taking pucks. We got to give full props to him. I just got lucky, a little balance in front and a little bit of patience and put her in.
The goal here is win in Bucktouche. How does the Northmen do that?
Northmen are to play the same way we always play at home down there and get a bounce or two, and I think we'll be fine.
Fans here, unbelievable. What do you have to say to the Northman fan?
Oh, it's awesome. I have the support like this here in my hometown and the fans, and it's just unbelievable. It's a great experience.
I think I'm going to start calling Josh Russell the Ultimate Warrior. Congrats on the win, and good luck on next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Corbin the podcast here with Andrew Langtang. Tanger, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm gassed, but that's a great night. It's hard to beat that night. These guys, our team's just doing everything they can to win right now, and it's fun to play behind. And that's a fun night. I mean, the crowd's electric. Senior hockey's back. That's as good a night as you can ask for.
Senior hockey's on fire, man.
Yeah.
You're a hell of a team guy. Whatever the team needs, and then you come in here in the playoffs, a lot of pressure, getting the wins. How do you keep your mindset where it is to come in these games?
Playing behind Dan for the past 2 years has been easy, right? He's stellar. I think he's the best goaltender in the league. But just getting into that mindset as a backup, that it could be your night any night. My job is to help the team win games, and sometimes it just works out that you help the team win a game.
So you were talking to me a minute ago about the guy on the other end of the ice and how much you like playing against Collette, the amount of respect you have for Collette, as we all do. Talk to me about Collette.
He's a great guy, first and foremost. I lived with him for 2.5 years-ish when he played junior A here. He built with us, and got a lot of respect for that guy, and it's fun to play like a game like that against him, man. Like, you dream about that when I'm a young kid and he's living with us. Like, you dream about a night like that, and it happened, right? It's pretty cool.
So he billeted with you?
He billeted with us, yeah, for his time in Miramichi. Yeah.
Small world, eh?
Small world, man.
It's fantastic. Sunday, big game coming up. How are you going to get ready for that game as a team?
As a team, I think we just don't change anything. We had a little bit of trouble playing there, down there in Game 3, but I think we've learned what it takes to win. And we just got to go in with that same kind of mindset, same game plan, and not change anything. It's not going to be easy, right? They're a hell of a team. Look at their record this year. They're a hell of a team, but I think we're starting to roll right now too.
Thanks, Tanger. Enjoyed this win.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Andrew.
All right, Corbin the podcast. You're with Jason Ryu. Another great game out there. You're seeing the puck well tonight. 3-1 win. Talk to me about the way Dalhousie's playing you.
I think that was our probably best game home. We played with really a lot of grit, and I think we just need to bring that game there for the next game.
Il y avait beaucoup de joueurs en avant de toi, toujours en avant du filet. Tu vois Jessica là, essayons de faire ce que tu vois pas de rondelle. Comment tu fais pour l'avoir, pour avoir les positions que tu as?
Oui, c'est sûr qu'ils ont des gars à l'attaque qui ont des gros gabarits puis qu'ils mettent du monde avant du filet. Thibaut à la défense a un très bon lancer puis il essaie de l'utiliser le plus possible avec du trafic. Fait que c'est sûr que ça donne un peu plus de challenge, mais je fais mon possible pour me tasser sur les côtés et essayer de voir la rondelle. Mais mes joueurs en avant de moi font une vraiment bonne job, les défenseurs, à tasser les gars et à faire sûr que je vois la rondelle.
On va parler des défenseurs en avant de toi, sœur. T'as pas juste des gars de talent, t'as des gars qui ont joué partout, t'as des gars qui vont se battre, se défendre. Vraiment une bonne groupe de défense cette année. Parle-moi d'eux puis comment est-ce qu'ils t'aident.
Oui, c'est ça. Je pense que cette année, notre équipe, en général, on a un peu de tout, là, mais surtout à défense. On a des défenseurs offensifs, on a des gars qui frappent. Même nos défenseurs offensifs à soir ont été très physiques. Sont capables de jouer défensivement, sont bons pour relancer l'attaque aussi. Non, on a vraiment une défensive. On a des gros gars aussi. On a vraiment une défensive diversifiée, là.
Merci pour ton temps, Jason, puis on se voit à Dalhousie samedi.
Merci beaucoup.
All right, Corey from the podcast here with Brett McLean. 2 goals tonight, 1 goal in the second, added the empty netter. Big game. How you feeling?
Good, yeah, good team effort. We played simple. We put pucks in deep, tried to wear down their D, and showed in the third. So came out with the win.
It's becoming quite the rivalry here at Dalhousie and Elsie. This game's getting a little intense. Does that make it a little more real for you? Does that amp you up some?
Yeah, I mean, the series tied going up there. It's a best of 3 now, so I expect next Saturday to be another big one up there. So
Played last year in River Valley. How are you liking the Hawks this year? How are you liking the environment, the fans, the team?
good. It reminds me, we were a tight-knit group there last year in Doketown, and it reminds me a lot of it this year. So I got 3 of my buddies in Rio from the team, so I came in knowing some people, which is nice, but I came in halfway through the year, and they welcomed me with open arms, so it's been awesome.
Awesome, man. You've got quite the line playing with you, a lot of skill. Talk to me about those line mates, man.
Yeah, they work so hard. They're fast. They keep it simple. We know where each other are, so it's easy to play with out there.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Brett, and congrats on the win.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Here with Logan Timmins, 2 goals tonight. You guys are 1 win away from the finals. How does it feel?
It feels good, but the job's not done. We know going up to Miramichi on Friday, they're going to battle like they did every other night, and especially playing in their barn. But we know what's at stake, and I think the boys in that room over there is going to be ready to go to war, so we should be all right.
Miramichi, it's a hard barn to play in. So far in both series, it's if you're playing at home, you're going to win. How does the JCs put the dagger in the heart here?
I think going up there in Miramichi, it is a hard barn to play in. Tough team to play against there. They're physical. I think we just need to take a little bit of their game into our hands, and we should be good.
You were on the third line this game, and best player on the ice. What do you have to say to the JC's fans and staff and everybody?
Yeah, well, I know Coach Salvis held me back. He sees I'm not actually 100% with my injury in my ankle, but I think after tonight I'm back to my normal self, and we'll see going further in the lineup. But you know what? At the end of the day, we got to win. And for the JC's fans showing up, it was a packed house today. Once again, we're glad for their support, and we love it.
Talk to me about the depth in this team, because you were on the third line, but you couldn't tell because it's so deep.
No, 1 through 4. We can roll 4 players. We got even 4th line, 1st line, doesn't matter. All the boys are committed, and they can get the job done at any time.
Absolutely. Best of luck on, is it Friday?
Yeah.
Friday, so best of luck on Friday, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. I'm here with JC's goaltender, Alex Collette. A big win. You guys are 1 win away from the finals. How does it feel?
Feels good. I mean, it's taken a little longer than we'd like, but at the end of the day, we're 1 win away, and that's what we got to keep pushing. And we know it's going to be tough in their barn, so we got to bring our best effort, and that's all we can do.
The story of the second round has been, if you're playing at home, you're probably going to win. How do you change that?
You get such a big advantage at home, right? So you don't have to drive. You get to play in front of your home fans, somewhere where you're very familiar to play. So it is a huge advantage. And at the end of the day, that just proves how close this league is. Nobody's beating anybody on the road. If the league would be way off, people would get blown out at home. So it's good for the league that it's so close, but someone's going to have to win on the road to end this series, or we just keep going at home, and home ice advantage is going to be king. So we got to bring a little more effort. We know what they do in their rink, and we just got to match and even beat their intensity over there.
Talk to me about the league this year, because it's senior hockey, but this is almost an ECHL. How does it feel?
It's kind of surreal, actually. Like, the guys that are playing in this league, like you got Patrice, you got PA, you got Bryce Milson over there is unreal. Even in other teams, Peter Trainer, guys that could all play pro if they wanted to, or that have in the past, which just goes to show that it's unreal hockey and it's great to have around. Like when I came out of junior, we had 1 year senior and then we lost the league, but it feels so good that it's back, because guys like that, they still want to play hockey, they still want to compete, so it's a great place for them to play and it's great for the fans.
You guys made it to the finals in 2023, came up short in Game 7. This year, it seems like it's a special year. Talk to your teammates. How do you encourage them to make sure you make it to the finals and lift up the BSHL Cup?
Kind of left a little sour taste in our mouth at that game, especially with the way it kind of turned out, and we were coming back in the series and kind of didn't really play as well as we would have liked, at least. So, I mean, this year, majority of the guys that were there are back, and the goal is win. Like, there's no second place. Like, we want to win it all, and that's the goal, and that's what we're working towards. So the motivation's there, the guys are battling, and we had injuries tonight. We had one of our best Ds out with Dan LeBlanc, but the next man up, Yan, played, and he played a great game. So we got depth up front and on D, and we're built for this.
That's the right attitude to have. Congrats on the win, and best of luck on Friday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.